Welcome to the Pivot for Life podcast. I'm Jo, and I'm so happy to have you here with me today. After experiencing my own life-changing pivot, I learned how powerful it can be to find clarity and courage in moments of uncertainty. Here, I share conversations with people who've done just that, chosen new paths, taken bold steps, and created meaningful change. These are stories of transformation, insight, and hope to help you find your own pivot for life. Welcome. Sarah is an amazing friend who I've known, and we've known each other for
a long time.
A long time now, and seen the ups and the downs and the ravishings of life between us, haven't we, mate?
Yes, and can I just say, you're the only person that's had a brain hemorrhage. You ended up looking like a fucking rock star. So pardon, I knew I'd swear. Straight in there,
yeah.
So, yes.
And that's a good point, actually, for anybody that's watching this wondering why I'm wearing sunglasses. I suffered a subarachnoid brain hemorrhage a few years ago, and I am so lucky to be here, and I'm so grateful to be here as well. And it was a very long climb back to kind of where I am today, but it's left me with a couple of things, which one is looking cool with glasses.
Yes. So yeah, we thought, yes, at last she can look more worse than we do, but no chance.
Oh, bless you.
Come out looking like a bloody glamorous, gorgeous model rock star.
Oh, yeah. So, I wouldn't go that far, but that's what you have good friends for, right?
I think we had probably about a week after your hemorrhage when we might have looked a little bit better than you. That was about it.
What, when I was about 3 stone?
Yeah.
About 3 stone. Yeah. Look like, I don't know, death warmed
you
up.
You did look like you've been dug up, and we thought, yeah, actually, no, we can take that now.
I don't think I was probably speaking.
And now, no. So we were cleverer than you. We were more attractive than you.
You could speak better.
Yeah, we could speak.
You've always managed to do that. You could walk. Yeah.
So we took, we for a little while there,
and do your own pants up
for about 3 days. Yeah, and we could do our own pants up. We were acing it, but now no.
Yeah.
We've been crushed again, back to having to live with this glorious creature, but we love her anyway. So
thank you, babe. Thank you. Well, I couldn't think of a better person to start my podcasts with than obviously my fantastic friend Sarah, and this first conversation for us to both share, really, and I guess just bring to life some of the challenges we've had, and the fact that we've both taken big pivots in our life and gone in different directions, and probably we both expected we would go in, and certainly for me, I didn't expect or plan to have a brain hemorrhage.
No.
But for those of you that don't know us yet or don't know the journey, that's what we kind of like to share with you today, really. So Sarah,
yes,
who are you and what do you know?
I am Sarah Stenton. I am in charge of a Facebook page called Middle Age Madness, which I started and created out of no other reason than I was so frustrated with how I was feeling when the menopause smacked me around the head. I just started writing my thoughts on Facebook, and it's taken off. It's done really well. It's got over 200,000 followers.
And it's more than taken off.
Yeah,
he is a serious influencer.
But it's been a slow burn. It didn't happen overnight. And the idea of the page now, it's morphed for me. I still do my rants and real life stories. But also we have sections on the page where we help other ladies. So, if anyone's struggling with how they're feeling or thinking or anything, really, we've done all sorts of domestic violence. We've done, anything from hot flushes to hairy toes, frankly.
And everything in between.
Yeah, everything in between, all the other bits that are hot and hairy. That should be the title of our
Hot and Hairy.
Hot and Hairy.
Yeah,
That solid. So that's what we do. Everyone piles on to help. It's such a lovely, fabulous community. It's like having 200,000 really nice sisters. That's the best. And brothers, because we've got quite a few men coming up on the page as well, which is brilliant. So that's what I do. It's something I never imagined doing. I never thought I'd be an influencer. I never thought, if you'd said to me 5 years ago, I'd have laughed my head off. I never thought I'd be an agony aunt.
I think I did say to you 5 years ago, and you did laugh my head off.
Yeah, I never thought it would happen to me, but it has, and it's taken my life in a whole new direction, and one that I I absolutely love. It's very rewarding and very enriching, actually. I do feel as if this is what I'm meant to do. I might not be terribly good at some of it, but
you are. Come off it.
Well,
you are. You're awesome.
I never, sometimes because I'm not a therapist or a counsellor. I know you've got qualifications and I haven't got those. So I always just speak from the heart. And sometimes it might not be the right thing to say. For example, if someone's in a domestic violence situation, my instinct is leave, get out. Now, that might not be the correct advice to give because it might not be safe for them to do that. So, yeah, sometimes my brain doesn't engage before my mouth. But
sometimes,
it's real. Sometimes,
or do you mean like all the time? I don't think I've ever
all the time. I just open it and my heart comes out.
Yeah, I know. That's why we love you.
And I can't stop that. And it seems to work on the medium of Facebook. So
I know. And it does.
Yeah,
it does. And you're amazing. So let's start at the beginning then. So what did life look like for you before you went down this route?
Well, I was an estate agent with my husband. We started our own business. I've always been in an estate agency, and because nobody else would have me. I'm up there with traffic wardens and tax inspectors. So we decided that we knew the business quite well. So we opened up our own business, very happy, very reasonably successful for a long time. And life was good. I've got 2 kids, quite close in age. So there's quite a busy lifestyle, lots of friends we socialized with, just Mrs. Average, I would say. And
I don't think you've ever probably been
I
average.
I never wanted to raise my head above the parapet and put myself out there because I was always a little bit, I wanted to be liked. You want to fit in, and
like
sometimes
so many of us, isn't it?
And sometimes you crush elements of your personality because you're worried people might think you're too loud, or your opinions are a little bit out there, or you might surround yourself with people that are bigger personalities who squash you a bit. I just sort of plodded along basically until perimenopause smacked me around the chops
like a massive ton of bricks. So with the menopause, quite often, very often for women, and for anyone that's going through a massive life impactful change, it can knock our confidence. It can make us doubt ourselves and almost make us want to hide. And I remember another good friend actually saying to me, when something had happened to her, she wishes she could have almost been checked into a hospital and just been taken care of, because you don't want to have to think or function. But obviously none of us have that privilege, and actually probably don't want it. We don't want to be in hospital for any other reason or any reason. So, how do you navigate that? How do you navigate that sense of I need to keep myself smaller, need to keep myself hidden? I don't feel confident to go to that social event like I would have done.
Yeah, the anxiety.
2 years ago, 5 years ago,
I did funny enough, saying about a hospital, I did a post, it was quite tongue-in-cheek, a few weeks ago about all 4 of them about what happened. I said, this would be great if this happened in real life. If you first start with your menopause symptoms, if you can go to let's say there's a lovely fantasy menopause hospital, you can rock up there, they take your blood tests, they say, oh my God, right, okay, hook her up to HRT intravenously, knock her out, give her a week's sleep, make her, put a fan next to her so she's nice and cool, stabilize her hormones, and we'll just we'll work on her for a week, let her have rest, peace, calm, quiet, and then we'll release her back into the wild with all her hormones balanced and settled, and off she can go. I mean, wouldn't that be marvelous?
That would just be fantastic, wouldn't it?
We'll balance everything, the anxiety, we'll give her vaginal estrogen for dryness, we'll just sort everything out so that she has a week off, we'll reboot her, rebalance her, and she can sail away all happy and lovely. The reality is first of all, it happens so gradually, you're barely aware of it.
Yeah, totally.
Secondly, you don't know what's going on because the confusion, because your estrogen levels are all over the place. 1 minute you're happy, next minute you're sad, then suddenly you might have anxiety. Anger, anxiety, depression. as well as the physical symptoms, the dryness, the hot flushes, the itchiness, the bloating, the weight gain, hair loss, all of it.
Or hair gain, actually, as well.
I mean, there's 50 symptoms now. And then you might go to the doctor to ask for help. You might think, well, I think I might be going through the menopause. I mean, I had one lady message me this morning. She's got, literally, she ticks every box. She went to the doctors and he sent her away again because he thinks she's too young. She's 41.
No,
she's
you're not too young.
Absolutely. Now and I just said to her, you've experienced the most common menopause symptom, which is the fob off, the medical fob off.
Totally.
We all experience it. It lasts for years.
Or the other option is quite often antidepressants get prescribed antidepressants when it's not.
You might not need it. Although I have to say, I take them because it helps me. HRT isn't enough with my anxiety that I've experienced. So antidepressants do help there. So you take whatever you need. So how did I cope with it? Well, it crept up on me so gradually. I didn't really realize what was happening. I just was very aware that I didn't feel like me anymore, physically and mentally. And I've always had quite a strong, slightly warped sense of humor. So I just started ranting about it on Facebook. And it obviously struck a chord with other ladies, and the page sort of took off slowly. It's been 7 years, but it's reached a point now where it does help people, and I have to be very conscious sometimes that there are a lot of followers, so I can't go on, for example, and be, if I've had a very bad experience somewhere, I try very hard to keep that to myself, because I don't want my life experiences to cause problems or issues for anybody else. What's not worked for me, for example, I put something on about the mammograms the other day because my personal experience was I didn't really like them. They were very uncomfortable, a little bit, there's no dignity, your boobs being handled like it's a dumpling. And I said, I think there should be a better way. And I think if men had to have their balls pressed between two plates, it wouldn't likely there would be another test. And that post, I got absolutely slated for it because people took it that I was saying don't have a mammogram. I wasn't saying that at all. I was saying I'm going for a mammogram. I was saying there should be a better way. So I have had to learn to be a bit more careful and cautious about, I have to think, how might somebody perceive that? Do you know what I mean? And I find that quite difficult because I do just, I mean, you know what I'm like. I do just want to go.
You just speak from the heart, darling. You really do. But I guess for you then, so, coming from estate agents there, shall we say, the 2.2, 2.4 household, the children, the dogs, like most of us have, if we're lucky enough to have children in our lives as well, but coming from that into, having the menopause come up and I guess smack you in the face, but so slowly you didn't know you're running head on into it. But what was the pivot point that made you think, I'm actually going to step away from my life as an estate agent to, this is the moment I realised when I was going to do something different?
Good question.
I like good questions.
I think COVID happened.
Yeah, that crazy time. Wow.
And it caused, whatever your beliefs and theories about COVID, it happened nonetheless. It had a big impact on the small business, which we were. Huge impact. We found ourselves suddenly, we'd had a pretty shitty year beforehand because there was all sorts of reasons, but basically the housing market doesn't like instability, and we'd had Theresa May in charge, we'd had all sorts of things. It hadn't gone terribly well. So it had been tough anyway. We were coming off the back of that, just starting to see some improvement. Then COVID comes and people physically aren't allowed to move houses. So the pipeline of sales that we had just disappeared. And following that, the housing market went crazy. And you might think, oh, right, great, brilliant. But everybody knew, especially rural areas, because we had loads of people moving from the city to come and do, they could work from home. They suddenly thought, oh, I want this. I want to be out in the garden. I want the fresh air.
I want the garden. Absolutely. I remember some of my old team at the time lived in flats in central London, and they were literally didn't have a balcony. They were stuck inside.
Exactly. And you can see what you could sell your flat for in London or a city, and what you could buy in a rural county like Shropshire, and it's unbelievable. You get something with loads of land and really nice character cottage. So the market went crazy, which sounds like that's a good thing. But because everybody knew their house would sell, you were ended up basically selling it for almost cost price. In other words, it was almost like a loss leader. You were making very, very little on each house sale because they could basically stick a note in the newsagents and somebody would go and view it and buy it and offer on it. So it was, and we still obviously had all the expenses and costs incurred with running your own business. It was a very stressful time for us. I felt quite anxious and stressed about it. Money worries keeping us awake at night. We decided that we needed to come out of the business. My Facebook page was doing okay. It was probably on about 40,000 then. It wasn't earning money, but I felt it had the potential to do it. And I wanted to write a bit more, do books and things. And then one day my husband had a really bad episode in the kitchen. It turned out he'd had a blood clot gone to his heart. And he just stood up to get some water. I was away from the kitchen. We had an open plan room. I was watching telly and I had this crash and I said, "What have you done now?" And I turned around and I said, "Where have you gone?" And he'd literally just collapsed. And it caused him to have a fit because his blood pressure had crashed. And it was terrifying seeing, 6'2", extremely healthy, goes to the gym. And I, obviously got him in the recovery position, called an ambulance, got the fob off, called the ambulance again, didn't get the fob off, got him taken in, treated. It was classed as a one-off and he was given anti-clotting injections. But I remember thinking, this is shit. We can't live like this anymore. The stress we're under. And I thought, God, if he'd have gone then, and much like you with your
1 minute,
there's so much we haven't done. There's so much we haven't seen. There's so much I want to do and see. And I couldn't bear the thought of just being on this bloody hamster wheel, earning nothing, literally earning enough money to pay the interest on our debts. There's got to be more to life. So we sold the business, didn't get very much after 16 years, but we came out. It was either that or go bankrupt, which we didn't want to do. So we sold the business, cleared the debts, sold our house, cleared a load of debt, came out with a little bit. And we're very, I'm going to say lucky, but I don't think it is lucky. It's, you make your own luck, don't you?
You do.
20 years ago, we bought a house in France with my parents. And they lived there, and my parents decided to come back just before COVID hit. So we used the money that we'd had out of the sale of our house in the UK. We bought them out and we thought, sod it, let's go and live in France.
And you did.
That's what we did.
So from what you said then, it sounds like the pivot point for you, or the moment of, right, I'm not doing this anymore, was a number of factors. So it's the business, the stress surrounding that, the debt, obviously a massive impact around David having that go, that, well, it could have been very life-changing. And I totally hear you. I 1 minute you're okay and 1 minute you're not. I know, with my story,
you know it better than anyone.
Well, I think we all know, anyone that's gone through from being okay to suddenly not being okay, and none of us, I don't know, for me, I guess I thought I was invincible and I could just keep pushing through, and you
were an alpha woman. I mean, you still are, but you were acing everything, and it takes a toll.
I think a machine, people used to say, you're like a machine. And you're right, it takes its toll. And I've talked about this before in terms of a great book, Where the Body Says No by Dr. Gabor, and it's phenomenal, and the body keeps the score. So for me, I kept going like you were keeping going, because we have to, you've got to get out there, do the jobs, earn the money, and those were joyful things at the time. And I thought I was okay. I thought I think I've talked about this before, I thought I had balance, because I was doing a bit, my yoga and my meditation every day, and then crashing onto a 16-hour day on top of it with work. And then a lot of factors like you talked about with, the COVID and David and the business, and they all come together, and it's almost like a perfect storm.
Absolutely. And
I think for us, it was, and for me, it was the same sort of thing. So yes, we got the COVID, we couldn't see the people we loved as much. Work went nuts. Work went nuts during COVID. I mean, everybody was doing back-to-back Teams calls, so you were constantly on systems. And then outside of that, I was dealing with lawyers and barristers because situation outside of work to do with our home. And that was stressful. And then I think the final straw that broke the camel's back for me was my nan's death, who I was very close to. And then on the Friday, like we all do, I got up for work in the morning. To be fair, I did have a bad head when I got up because I've been crying from 4 a.m. proper snot cry.
Hard cry.
Proper snot cry of complete grief for my nan.
But and you didn't give yourself the day.
I know.
You've just thought, no, right, I've had my cry. I'm going to go back out and ace it again.
Well, for me at the time, so you're absolutely right. For me, acing it was, I got a headache. I thought I'll have a coffee, wake myself up because I've not had much sleep. Thankfully, that morning I was meeting my sister-in-law for the run that I was going out to do a 10-mile run with my dogs, as I usually do, but not at 5:30 in the morning on my own with a night torch. So she came round, we went out for a run, 3.5 miles into an ascent, because I hill run. I don't hill run now, clearly. As Sarah always said to me, running is really bad for your health. Okay, so
don't do it.
That's what she said to me. I told you I was right. Running, don't do it. Don't do it. So I was 3.5 miles into it. Crisps. Yeah, I was 3.5 miles into an ascent, and I was running with my sister-in-law. I had a baseball hat on, and I remember thinking, whoa, it just feels like someone's pulled my baseball cap so tight on my head initially. And my sister, I must have stumbled or something, because my sister, I remember her saying to me, are you okay? And I said, I've just got this really weird feeling that's just come into my head. It was weird from nowhere. Suddenly, it was like somebody advised to my head. And she said, let's stop.
Yeah.
And me being me, the machine, this probably speaks volumes. I was like, no, I'll be all right. Let's just carry on. And I took 4 or 5 paces, and then boom, went down. And obviously I don't recollect too much after that. So I was kind of in and out with lucidity, but I know she said, and she saved my life. If I'd have been on my own, categorically.
And it really shook her up. I saw her in the co-op a few days later, and it was trauma. It's trauma seeing people like that. It's so hard to see somebody normally fit and well suddenly, boom, almost gone. It's terrifying.
Yeah, and it would have been the same for you. So it's kind of that pivot point, isn't it? And I think for me at the time, obviously it was worse for my family than it was for me. I remember
it wasn't great for you, to be fair, Jo.
Well, no, it wasn't great for me. I mean, it's pain like I would never wish on anyone. I mean, it was horrific. But again, the Jo of old was like, I said to my husband, when I had a lucid moment, I've got a meeting this is when he got me back to the house. I've got a meeting at 11, draw the curtains, give me some paracetamol. I've got to get on, because I had a meeting with a couple of the directors on the board, and I wanted to not let them down. So here we go. How many stories do we have like this in our heads that drive us, right? But the upshot was, like, your life-changing events, or the things that have made you pivot and think differently. For me, it was, I was taken into an amazing hospital at the Royal Stoke under the most amazing neurosurgeon. Thankfully, he's just my superstar. And, I had the most incredible care. And I did catch COVID in intensive care, which is a whole different story and experience, which again was not good and was pretty
but again,
traumatic.
It probably, seeing what you saw, which was awful, at some point it would have made you think, I've got too much to do, and I'm not doing it.
No,
that's exactly what I thought.
You're right. I'm busy doing what? I'm busy working. And actually, to be fair, I love my job.
Yeah.
But
it didn't love you.
No. And I kept going, and I thought I was okay. So those pivot points in our lives, when 60% of people do not survive a subarachnoid hemorrhage, or another third have serious significant disabilities. So and so I know how lucky I am, as David is very lucky,
absolutely,
as we all are, to be here. And so actually, when I was recovering and not kind of knowing who I was going to be, what I was going to be left with, which was super scary, I just thought, I know I've always been about, like you want to help people, and I just want to help people and take more of what I do out into the world. And I guess that's why eventually I was kind of doing it without formalizing it, why I sat and really thought about and created Clarity and Courage.
And it's great. It's lovely to see you doing this, because it feels like this is what you were meant to do. Absolutely, 100%. See, when I saw David, struggling obviously on the floor and he was fitting and it was awful. My
gotta
mum's
be.
epileptic, so I have grown up around people having fits.
Yeah.
So I didn't panic. I would be quite calm around it and I just did what I had to do.
I don't think you are a panicker though.
No,
I've
I'm
seen
not
you
a panicker.
in the moment.
No, I don't
You're
panic.
not.
No.
It's kind of
I do have
afterwards.
anxiety, like that, which is a whole weird symptom. But no, I'm
Not
quite
in the
calm.
moment though, do you? You're really good in the
No,
moment.
although it does come and go, the anxiety, but the panic is a different thing because I
Yeah.
don't generally panic when people need something from me. I just do it. Maybe that's because of mum, I don't know, but I knew what to do and I knew just to reassure him and talk to him. But even when I was doing that and I'm on the phone to 999, I'm thinking, this is not how it ends.
No.
This is not how it ends.
No.
We've got too much to do. And I was determined that he
Yeah.
was not going to go there and then, and he
No.
didn't, thank God. But it made me realize how precious life is. And I think I had an outlet on my Facebook page to vent I didn't talk about the issues we had, the money issues and things, because it's not easy to talk about. People don't like talking about money. It makes them go,
yes, especially in Britain, it's
absolutely.
a very not done
But
thing, isn't it?
having said that, I have spoken about it a couple of times and people have been really like, oh my God, I went through that happened, and it is a huge strain on you and it does take its toll. It's a nightmare. Well, everyone knows, don't they? So, but David didn't have that outlet. He didn't have that. So he was probably internalizing a lot of the stress. And as we say, it finds a way out. And I believe clearly, whether this makes it sound like a fruitcake or not, that wasn't the path we were meant to be on. I think we deviated. I think we had a nice lifestyle out of it for a while, but I also think we are now where we're meant to be. Me doing this and David he's been doing some building work, gardening. He's much happier and healthier.
You both are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah,
and it's lovely to see.
Thank you.
It is. It's just so nice to see.
It is nice.
It is lovely, and I know kind of we've gone on our journeys, and we're all still going on our journeys, right? But I know that fear still plays a part for me. Every single day there are demons or records or files that can come into your brain or thoughts that can drive an emotion of fear. And for me, even setting up this business, and even now today, doing this podcast, it's is it going to go okay? Is the tech going to work? And the tech really didn't work. We've had before this 2 to 3 hours of a nightmare.
Been here for 3 years.
Yeah, she has. David thinks she'd moved in actually. You're not going back to France, but yeah, it was just to do the whole microphone thing. We won't bore you.
But it's working now.
Well, at least we hope it is.
Otherwise,
you can't hear and you can just see our mouths moving.
And man, we look great.
Oh well, yeah, just smile. But fear does really play a role, and for me, navigating this new chapter of my life with clarity and courage, and posting things on social media, which I haven't really done before. I did sort of personally a bit, but then before my brain hemorrhages, I didn't go on it at all for a few years. And so to suddenly be back on it, and thinking, I really want to share this with people that follow me and be grateful, but then, what will they think? And is it the right thing? And, all of those doubts come in, can't they? So
absolutely.
What fears play out for you and how do you manage that?
Well, I've got a perfect example of one, because on my Facebook page, so we do the helping other women, but I'm also an advocate, I'm affiliate for a cosmetic company, skincare company, and a shampoo. So which is lovely, but that does mean I have to put videos out there of putting makeup on, and I did one the other day, and I was doing their fake tan product, and I had a swimsuit on, and I didn't upload it because I knew I would get a load of abuse,
like trolled.
Because I am a size 16. I'm not a model figure. I've got wobbly bits were wobbling.
Excuse my French. No. You know what? You're here, you're alive. And the thing is, we berate ourselves.
And I am, and people that follow my page will know this, and they'll probably be quite shocked I didn't do that. I am the world's biggest fuck everybody else. Pardon my French.
You are.
Yeah, but that particular day, I didn't have it in me. We all have our ups and downs. Now, if it happened, if I'd done it today, I probably would think, sod off. I'm going to post it and I'll take it, because I would have got lots of nice comments as well. Like usually it's like, oh, it's lovely to see, a curvy girl advertising stuff like that or whatever. But
a confident woman, quite frankly.
But I just
showing
didn't feel it. I watched it back and I thought, I'm not putting it on, because I knew I would get abuse. And that's my body people are talking about. You know, I might be quite happy in it myself. I wear a bikini on holiday. I want women to go out there and enjoy themselves. But equally, you have to know your limit of strength. And that is my fear. I'm not vain. I'm not judging anybody else's body shape or size. For me personally, I didn't want to have the comments I knew I would get, because, nobody likes to hear it. I was doing, I was trying to do something nice. That it's Christmas season coming up. Let's try a little bit of fake time, which it is on, and it is lovely. Look at that. It's very nice.
Yeah, it is. You look lovely. I love the necklace. I did say to her, she's got a lovely necklace on today.
But I just thought, no, I can't put that out there. So that fear stopped me. And that, as I said, it surprised me, because I am very body positive. I'm very confident, but I knew what that looked like on camera. I mean, I'm like rubbing it in on my thighs and you're wobbling. And I just thought, I don't want the social media shit that I would get that would come my way.
You and that expose yourself to that. And
exactly,
totally get it.
Exactly.
Totally get it.
But was I right or was I wrong? I don't know. I don't know if it was the right thing or if it was the wrong thing. Should I have just thought, sod it, I'm going to upload that and take the flack, and that reflects on them?
Yeah.
Or should I have done what I did, which was no? And I think you've got a gut instinct for a reason. And for me, I just thought, you're not ready. You don't want to take that.
And you know what, darling? I think you can only do what you feel is right in the moment.
Absolutely.
And if you do that and you're listening to your intuition rather than doing what somebody else is telling you to do, then you are stepping into your own power. You're owning your own stuff.
Yeah.
And so, do you know what? If you never post it, great. If you decide to, great. But then it's you, isn't it?
No, and I see our friend just popped round before, and she took a picture of us. We went away for a girly weekend, didn't we? And we got drunk, and I ended up in a hot tub.
I didn't. I just like to say, just in case my surgeon or anything
touch it. But I got drunk and ended up in the hot tub, and I went topless, and I was. And Laura, our friend, had captured a picture of me basically doing a star like this and boobs out. And she just said to me, Sarah, look at this picture. It's fantastic. And I was like, oh my God. And I looked and I thought, actually,
it's amazing. Yeah, it was. You're amazing.
So,
and the dirty dancing jump. Yeah. I remember that as well in that hot tub. That was so dangerous. Not for anyone else around us, just us. We were.
And if we've ever booked a holiday with you with a hot tub, it wasn't yours.
It wasn't yours. No,
that one.
No.
So that's what I mean. And I looked at that picture and I thought, wow. And I know that sounds enormously egotistical, but I didn't look bad at all. Actually, sod it, I did look fabulous in that picture.
Good for you.
And yet I couldn't see that when I was replaying this video back. So I sort of wish that power I feel sometimes about myself and my body, I sometimes wish I could channel it a bit more often, if that makes sense.
It makes absolute sense, because some days you get up and you think, right, I'm going to wear what I want. I feel great. I'm in the zone. I feel confident. Yeah, I'm raw at life. And then other days it's kind of, you just want to sit on the sofa, pull a duvet over yourself, don't really want to speak to anyone. And I know for me, it is okay. And I know for me, some of the fears that show up for me is people thinking I'm not good enough, or their lives are too busy and I don't want to bother them, but actually, when you do speak to people that you love and care about you, that's not how they're thinking at all. But our minds are so powerful and sometimes toxic to our own detriment.
Absolutely, we're our own worst enemy. That's never a true word said. And especially, if you go into the menopause, your mind does play tricks on you. You might I gained 4 stone in the menopause. I've lost some of it now, but I hated what I saw in the mirror, and I hated it for a very, very long time. But you don't need to hear yourself being hard to yourself. And what I tried to do was look at my reflection, and instead of saying, oh, you're disgusting, you're horrible, you're fat, you've got this move, I said, oh, your boobs look nice,
amazing,
or your hair looks nice, or your skin looks nice. I started to make little changes every single day and pay myself a compliment. I ignored as best as I could the bits I didn't like, and eventually you start to see more and more that you do like.
You see what you look for.
You've got to be your own biggest cheerleader.
You have. And it's really important, because what we say out and what we say to ourselves actually manifests to how we feel as well. So that tick there, Sarah, I was going to say to you, what some of the things that you do to help you feel more empowered that you've done since you pivoted through this crazy thing that we're on called life. But actually it sounds like even just talking to yourself with
100%
love and compassion and being your best cheerleader rather than berating yourself and your biggest critic.
Because if you look in the mirror and you say I'm fat and I'm ugly, you're going to feel fat and ugly. If you look in the mirror and say actually you've got a really nice smile and your skin's glowing, you're going to feel good about yourself. You can't help say nice things without smiling. But as if you look and think, oh God, your stomach's overhanging and you look minging, your face drops, you feel bad because you're saying that to yourself and you're hearing it and it's going in. If you start saying nice, positive things to yourself, you will feel better. And I tell you what, it works. 100% it works.
So top tip is every day, at least once a day, to say something really lovely to yourself and really great to yourself. So I think we can all do that.
Yeah,
I think we can.
It's an easy thing to do. There's something about you that you like, even if you say, to start with, oh, your necklace. I like the necklace. The necklace looks nice on you.
It was really sparkly.
You're not talking about your physique as such. You're talking about something that you're wearing, but it's a nice thing to say, and it's going to make you feel better. And just start with that. Maybe if you don't like how you look, maybe look at changing your hairstyle or hair color or your makeup brand or whatever, your clothing. We went to see a clothing color stylist, didn't we?
We did.
She did say don't wear black.
I don't know whether I was supposed to even be wearing green actually
on you. That looks nice.
But anyway, so I guess for both of us then, but let's sort of hear about yours. So once you decided to change, what were your first steps for you? So you've talked about talking to yourself more positively. You've talked about setting up obviously middle-age madness. And what other steps have you taken for yourself that maybe other people could think, actually, I could do that for me too?
Well, I was stepped away. Obviously, we sold basically everything we owned, and we almost started again in terms of where we reset our lives. Where do we want to live? Who do we want in our lives?
So important.
You keep your friends. So but there have been people that I have let go. Sometimes it's been quite difficult too, but you have to you realize once you develop a sense of your own self-worth and you sort of feel it's a privilege, and this is going to sound really, again, madly like I'm some maniac, egotistical person. I think that I'm a good person to know. I think I'm a good friend. I think I'm a good family member. I think I'm a decent person. And I think if I let you into my life, lucky you, frankly. And I think everybody should feel like that about themselves. What you shouldn't do, and what I used to do, is make myself smaller, quieter, and less,
or mold yourself to fit
in with other people. Whereas I think if you're true to yourself and you can, even if you have less friends, you might have 30 friends, but actually I bet really you've only got 4 or 5 or 1 or 2 really close ones. On one hand,
don't you? You really thought, if all of you out there were to think about it, how many people or acquaintances or whatever you've got in your life, and we've all got, there are literally, for me as well, on one hand I can count the really close friends. And actually sometimes, and what's great about close friends is that you don't see each other all the time.
No, not at all.
But
you don't have to speak to each other. You just pick up.
And we don't see each other all the time or pick up. But you know what? It doesn't matter, because when we do, or if we needed something, we're both there for each other as our other close friends in our life. And actually, I think for me, talking about the friendship thing, is what I learned was I used to give so much into some friendships and get nothing back other than usually abuse or made to feel worse about something.
Totally.
And to actually cut that crap out of your life, that's a pivot point in itself.
It's a huge pivot point. And you realise quicker, when you've got a lot more respect for yourself, you realise quicker somebody's disrespecting you. You can recognise toxic behaviour quicker, and you can cut it out quicker.
You can.
I mean, I've had a few of it this year with people that I thought were friends, and I've very quickly realized I don't think I wouldn't treat you like that, so why are you doing that to me? And I'm glad I'm like that now. It might make me sound harder, and maybe I appear harder, maybe I, like I said, maybe I do sound like an egotistical maniac, but I think I'm worth having nice people around me and in my life. Yeah, we are.
We all are. We
don't all know that, though.
No, we don't all know. And this is my point of saying it. Life is hard enough without having other people in your life that drain you or make you feel like you need to be smaller,
Yeah.
or hide away, or not feel good enough. All of us, particularly, anybody at any age, but particularly women going through the menopause, the confidence really goes.
It does.
And so to have women and friends in your corner to shout for you and back you and be your biggest supporters is just the best thing. I do not need on my bench somebody throwing rocks at me.
No,
quite
of course you don't. Really, that's because they are, they've got nothing else, have they?
No, and sometimes for those people, to be fair, and I manage it, I just send those people love, if I'm really honest, and I just send them love and wish them well, because actually the reason they're probably being that way is they've got their own demons, but they don't realise.
You're nice. I usually tell them to fuck off.
I know you do. You know what? That's great. But for me, it's about
it's a better way of dealing with it.
I'm not saying I don't tell them to fuck off, because I am not, worried about being quite straightforward with people. It's more about, I don't actually want to give that negative energy
that is
out
a better
there.
way to be.
And so for me, it's much more, do you know what? I actually don't want anything to do with this. I send you love, but I'm done.
And I think once you get a bit more in tune with yourself and what your boundaries are and what you're comfortable with, you can really pick up on energy and vibe. I mean, I walked into a room of people that were supposed to be family, should we say? And the smiles are there, but the vibe, the energy coming off them is completely different. And for years and years, I thought it was me, and it wasn't.
Intuition.
And I know it wasn't.
No.
And that hit me hard, having to sort of accept that I was never going to fit in as I was. But equally, I'm happy as I am. Our little family unit that we've got, we're really happy.
You're a beautiful family. You really
it's fab. And as soon as I decided that I am not going to take this anymore, I can't keep doing it. I can't keep going in and feeling as if I'm not good enough somewhere. I took a step back, and it was very difficult. It was very, very hard, but it was exactly the right thing to do. And I feel as if I am a much better person for it. I'm prouder, stronger, a bit harder, but also I can empathize with people more who are in perhaps difficult situations, because I can understand how insignificant they've been made to feel, and how also they might have been gaslighted into thinking it's them, and they're imagining it when they're clearly not. So it's all part of life's rich pageant, isn't it?
It is massively, for all of us. So, and I think what you said there was, and I'm a massive advocate of this. I mean, I had a forced stop, but actually since that made me take a step back, clearly a forced step back. But it also did make me take a step back and go, actually, what is life about? What is it that I want in my life? What is it that I don't want in my life? And so it helps you to make decisions. But unless we actually take that pause and take that step back, or take a beat, as I say quite often, then actually we just carry on and we just keep doing and hitting
keep
repeat.
Making the same mistakes is a definition of insanity.
Well, totally.
Making the same mistakes and not learning.
So so for me, it's about, are you out there, all of you? Can you take that beat? Can you take that step back? Can you think about what is it that you want in your life, what you want to do, and realize you have the power of choice? We've all got the power of choice, but you can't make the choices that are right for you unless you stop and look at and think about, what is it that I want for me? Otherwise you end up making decisions.
You have to consider yourself important.
Totally, darling. And otherwise you end up making decisions on the basis of what's right for other people. And pleasing other people
pleasing,
rather than yourself. And we've all been there.
And what you'll find is, if you do start to put yourself first, and I think one good thing about the menopause, the only good thing about the menopause, it does make you focus on yourself, because you don't know what the hell's happening to you, and all the other plates you've been spinning just crash to the floor. You have to think about, what is happening to myself? Why do I feel like this? It makes you focus on yourself, and also it strips away your bullshit layer. You don't want to tolerate people's crap anymore. You haven't got the time or the energy to give it, and you learn to say no, which is a really valuable word. Instead of saying yes all the time, you can turn around and say no.
And the confidence to say it.
So it does give you, it gives you a lot of hassle and shit and all sorts, but it also does give you a layer of your personality that I think perhaps was there, but it got buried by social niceties and social expectation. And all of a sudden you're stripped down to the bone and you're like, no, I'm not, I need to focus on me now, which I think is a good thing. Yeah, it is empowering.
It's almost like you
absolutely,
you come out of that shell that you've almost unwittingly taken on over the last 10 years to be something or live up to other people's expectations, when actually, you know, it, like you say, it strips you raw, but that shell breaks away, and actually what's left inside is a really beautiful human being, maybe with less hormones and a few extra hairs,
lots of hair,
but you know, it's you are empowered. We can still, you know, and the life isn't over with menopause. Life is beginning. It's beginning. We are stepping into our power. We are owning our shit, and we're making the decisions for us for once in our life, rather than living for
we're in cronehood. This is what I call it. So you have what maids and mother crone. We're in cronehood, and crone isn't the old witchy nasty that's been portrayed by Disney. Crone is a fucking goddess.
Yeah, totally.
She is powerful. She's amazing.
Love that.
And that's what we need to redefine, this image, this stage in our lives, as thinking we have to be some shriveled up wizard old hag. No, we are powerful goddesses who know our strength and know our worth and know our value. And I tell you, I wouldn't swap it for anything.
No, it's amazing, isn't it? So fast forwarding then through everything we've talked about, and you know, the changes, the challenges in life, which every human being on this planet goes on, right? You know, how does life feel now that you've made that pivot for you, that you made that decision to step away from that, you know, the estate agents, the mum, I'm not saying you stepped away from being a mum, but you know, you're always a mum, but you know what I mean, from that that family.
Well, they're grown now, so they're 24 and 23, so they're embarking on, they're lovely girls, they're embarking on their own, you know, journey independent of us, and I'm so proud. We've raised two rock star strong independent
beautiful
women.
Girls,
they're lovely. They are
sorry,
so lovely.
I say girls because I still think they are just little, but they're actually women. You're right.
They are. They're just, they're lovely, and you know, it's a joy watching them forge their own path
and flourish.
And they're really flourishing. They're really, they're great kids. They've got a lot to give, and they're giving it, and I love that. I think that's brilliant, you know, and they don't take any shit. I don't know where they get that from.
I totally do.
So how does life feel? It feels fabulous.
Yeah,
it really does. I feel totally at peace with myself. I feel very calm, feel empowered, like you said. I like this new I'm not taking any shit Sarah. I think she's a good person. I think she's got a lot to offer, and I'm really proud of her.
I love that. I love that for you. Oh my God, it's made me feel quite emotional.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm with you. And I guess for me, isn't it easier just to be who you are and what you want to be and what you want to do?
It's exhausting, isn't it?
It's exhausting trying to do and be for other people. And, you know, not that we aren't for those that we love, because we will always be that way. But you know, I'm so with you. I've equally, as we've talked about, had the fear around stepping into this new part, this new path, this person. I had to relearn who I was again. But actually, you know, it's just an amazing place to be.
Fear is a good thing, you know.
It is.
I would say, as I said before, you've got a gut instinct and you've got to trust it. Now, if this feels like the right thing for you to do it, give it 110%. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have, I've had some major fuck ups.
So
it's okay. You know, it's all right. It's okay. It's how you deal with it. If you fold and like, oh, I can't do it, I'm not going to do it. It didn't work out as I thought. Well, okay. I mean, if we play this back and it sounds awful, so what? I don't think it does. I think it sounds really good.
I don't care. We've had a nice conversation, haven't we? The only thing that's probably missing for you is a nice glass or something, to be fair.
It's all right. I had 2 coffees downstairs.
I've got water.
But that's what I'm saying is it doesn't matter if this doesn't work out exactly as you thought or planned or processed.
No.
It's things grow organically, don't they? And I think that's the thing to do. Try and relax into it. Just enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. We're never going to have this moment again where we do our little first conversation, and it's lovely. It's enjoyable, even if everyone thinks we've talked a load of shit.
Well, on that note then, so you know, let's keep it real. What is still hard, if anything, after the pivot you've taken, and is there anything you'd changed?
No, I wouldn't change anything because I do believe everything happens for a reason. So
totally.
yeah, I totally believe that. What's still hard? We're sort of out of my control, really. It's so obviously being a social person online, um, you get abuse, and I find that for me, if something comes on the telly I don't like, I turn the channel over. You know, if a song comes on the radio I don't like, I turn the volume down. I don't feel compelled to text in or write in and say, well, I watched the whole thing and I thought it was terribly abusive and horrible and it wasn't like, just turn off, turn over. Why that doesn't exist on social media, I don't know. Why people who can come across my page, you know, and it is primarily designed for menopausal ladies, although I love that I've got male followers.
It's awesome.
Yeah, trying to understand.
Men are trying to work their way through it.
Absolutely.
Well, it's a shock to their system.
It is, and I love that they get it and they're engaging. And but it's men and women trolls exist.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what is going on in somebody's head that they have to spew such hate out to somebody online. I mean, a prime example was saying about my video with the fake tan. The reason I was wary about putting that out, I did a try on video of a dress, a denim dress. I
remember you telling me about this.
And it had like over 1 million views. It went really, really well.
It did.
But
except for
yeah, I was called, you know, every name under the sun because I'm curvy, you know, and I'm like, well, I wasn't hiding that. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed of my size or my shape. I love myself, but I don't understand. I would never, I might look at somebody and think, oh, okay, whatever, but I don't think I'd want to say something negative to that person with the sole purpose and intent of upsetting them and being actually pretty cruel and unkind to them. So that is the part I don't understand, and I really, really struggle with that because I don't have that mindset.
Yeah,
and I don't want to have that mindset. For me, I just don't understand.
Compute.
No, logically, just scroll. Say what you don't like, what you see, and scroll on.
Well,
find something that you do
I was going
like.
to say, don't even stop on the page. Move along.
Use that finger. Scroll on.
I love it. Yeah, scroll on. Oh, yeah, that is.
But I'm learning that it's not a me problem, it's a they problem. You know, I totally get that, but it's still directed at me, and so it's
personal.
Yeah, and sometimes, most of the time, I just think, oh God, you know, whatever, naff off. I think, yeah, naff off. I've never said naff off in my life, but it's. Sometimes it does penetrate, and I find that can be hard to deal with because you sort of do then have to have a bit of a reset and think, right, okay, you know, am I really that horrible and hideous that I deserve that? No, I'm not. But why are they saying it? You know, so that's what I struggle with, that mindset that's out there on social media. I don't know how you overcome that because
you can't. I think I don't think you can. I think it's certain human beings are out there, and the only way they get satisfaction or gratification is to cause harm in other people, whether that's physical, whether that's mental, whether that's verbal or emotional. Sadly, that is what makes us all human.
It's cowardly because they wouldn't say it, you know. And then the other thing I struggle with is when I do put a post on saying, why don't you just scroll on, I get all the well, you put yourself out there, what do you expect? Well, I'm doing my job, it's my work, it's what I do. You know, you don't go to a cashier in Tesco or somewhere and kick off at them because the Tesco prices are too high and you don't like, you know, it's such a stupid argument because by that definition, everybody who puts himself out there to earn a living deserves to get abuse and a kicking, and it's just nonsense.
No, I totally agree with you, and I think the thing that is hard for all of us is, or what we should all be doing, is recognizing what thing is hard for me still in my life and what can I actually do about that, and am I choosing to tackle that positively, or am I being swept up in that and reacting in a way that's not serving me either, because quite often we're not conscious about the decisions we're making or the way we're behaving or the way we're treating ourselves. So, you know, it's really hard, isn't it? It's really hard for everybody, and life is, you know, a challenge. It really is.
It is. It's super hard, you know, and
I thought it got easy, you know. I had this complete naive belief when I was a teenager and going through all the teenage, and I thought the world was on my shoulders. that, oh, when I get older, as we get older, life gets easier. I mean,
just got more layers of it, don't they?
No wonder my mind blew.
Yeah, no wonder.
My mind blew.
You just have more layers to deal with and fight through.
Yeah.
But I think we can get better.
Oh, always.
And that's what I'm trying to do, trying to be the best version of me. And, you know, I love that my page gets to help women and men.
Yeah.
Love that. And that makes me feel better. You know, sometimes it brings up traumas that I've had in my past, but I think it's sort of passing it on. Does that make sense? You're passing, if I can help somebody because of something that's happened to me, then I feel better. It chips away at the bad. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. I have this with, I guess, with what I do and what I stand for in terms of clarity and courage. I almost imagine me and you were sat here now holding hands, like we take our hands and we're like this in the world and we're giving out light and love, right? And this other hand can reach out for somebody as yours can reach out to somebody and they can grab our hand
and so on
and so on. So if you can do, and we can all do that moment of touch, of light, of positivity for other people in their lives and let people know they're held and they're supported, that's so profound. It creates a massive ripple. And there are times when we might be holding hands, but I don't want to hold your hand because I want to sit and wallow and just feel miserable. But actually I know, even though I've let go of your hand, it's still there. And that's what the community,
I'm sweaty.
Yeah. But that's what the community is all about for me. It's about knowing I can take it like you can with me and lean into it when I want to, but let go. But if we can all hold each other's hand through and create a great community through, you know, clarity and courage and in middle-age madness, you know, all of that is so important. Together we can do this. Life is hard on this planet right now. This planet is beautiful. It's a shame the human species have done what they've done to the planet.
I agree.
You know, when I hear people say, you know, the world's fucked up, but it's not the world, it's us on it. We've got such a beautiful planet, and being able to get out there, and for me to be able to walk in it every day,
thing,
it's a massive thing, and see the sunrises. It's huge, you know. So these times in our life, and you've gone on such a massive journey and chosen those pivot points for you by stepping back, taking a beat and stepping into your power and owning it. And I really hope that continues for you. And I love that our journeys have run parallel on so many different ways. You know, both redefining, I guess, success and happiness and what that means to us or doesn't mean to us, actually, which is equally important. But you know, for me, the thing that sits underneath this conversation, I guess, is friendship. And, you know, having friendship and support when you're going through that pivot phase and people that are backing you.
It's invaluable.
Oh my God, it is. Lean into it. And if people are offering you help, genuine help, lean into it. You know, it's just,
don't be surprised as well if when you come out of the other end and you do feel stronger and you feel a better person of you, don't be surprised if you look around and there's one or two people that aren't with you anymore.
Or not being very nice.
Because they don't like you being this strong, empowered person who's comfortable with herself, because they preferred it when you were smaller and submissive.
It's so true.
Surprised.
So true. I've so enjoyed our conversation.
I've loved it, Jo.
It's been ace. And there's not been a sip of alcohol anywhere. It's just been coffee and water.
Be a lot more sweary.
Oh my gosh, I'm trying to keep it clean. To keep it clean. No, well, I know. I have the odd.
If your neurologist is listening.
I have the odd glass. But Sarah, thank you so much for being part of my first or one of hopefully many podcasts that are going to come out. I couldn't imagine starting this journey with anyone better.
My absolute pleasure. Good luck with it. You deserve all the love and success in the world, Jo.
Oh, thank you. I'm really thank you. No, that's so kind, darling. And to all of you out there, know you can do this. Leaning into each other, take those hands if they're out to you and grab them and let go of the ones that really don't serve you anymore. And to all of you listeners today, if today's conversation has inspired you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it, who might just need to hear actually what it's like to make a different change or a different choice or to take a beat. And remember, you can connect with me and Sarah through our pages. So
Middle Age Madness on Facebook.
on Facebook. No, absolutely not, darling, go for it. And Clarity and Courage, they'll be in the show notes for you to access later. And I just want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us. We've had a great time.
Yeah, it's been lovely.
We hope you've had a great time. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day. Bye. Thank you for joining me on the Pivot for Life podcast. I hope today's conversation has inspired you to pause, reflect, and remember that change is possible, one courageous step at a time. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it, subscribe, and leave a review. It helps more people to discover these powerful stories, these true life stories. You can find more resources and support at Clarity and Courage. All the links are in the show notes below. Until next time, stay curious, stay courageous, and keep pivoting for life. Thanks all.